I think, is that one clear? Wow, they look alike. Hmm. Okay, okay. I'm gonna get Sirach pulled up on the screen and oh, it's already ready. Okay, I just gotta bring it in. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up. Let me go to chapter 30, 34. Yep, yep, 34. What's up, Wallace, man? How you doing? I ain't seen you in a while, man. I'm gonna read from Sirach tonight, redo it because I had an audio issue recently. I'm always having some trouble, so I don't do it again. Um, make it on what up list? What's that? Oh, make it on the wake up list. My bad. I said what up list. What you mean? Make it on the? What you mean? All right, let me go get this chapter ready. 34. Hold on. Sirach in the building. Ecclesiasticus in the building. Let me know if my um mic audio is too loud because I haven't used this. I got the Logitech webcam. I'm using that mic. I haven't used this one in a long time, so I don't know if it's too loud. I was gonna do an audio test real quick, but no, not the Old Testament. There we go. Chapter 34 in the build. Let me do an audio test real quick. They won't let me do it properly. Like, oh, I know how I could have did it. I just thought about that. Yahal Yada, Yahal Yada. I'm gonna just check it on my YouTube and see. I'm ready though. I got my drink ready. Just check it on my YouTube and see. Oh yeah, I hear it's loud. Okay, we're gonna go. I'm ready though. Funny. That is funny. All right, let's go back to Sirach. I'm gonna check the comments real quick, then I'm gonna get to read. Um, where we at? Right here. Yeah. Okay, you said Wallace says we made it on the wake up list. We still alive. You good? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna start reading. I should share it with somebody because she was talking about she wanted to join. Well, I'm gonna try to share this real quick, y'all, and I'm gonna come right. Well, I mean, I'm still be here, but I'm gonna try to see if I can share this. How can I share it? Share. Okay, there. I normally don't share from StreamYard, so this is like difficult. Can I just copy this? I guess. I'm gonna send her a message. Here we go. Oh, she offline. I don't think this. Oh yeah, she been offline. Well, I'm gonna just tell her I'm live, and if she joins, she join. I'm live. All right, there we go. Now I'm gonna read. Sorry. All right, let's go. Sirach chapter 34. All right. So 1 through 8 is about dreams. Very important stuff right here. So it says, the senseless have vain hopes. I left out false. Vain and, just read this all over. The senseless have vain and false hopes, and dreams give wings to fools. As one who catches at a shadow, think about that. You can't catch a shadow. And then it says, and pursues the wind. You can't catch the wind either. And then it says, so is anyone who believes in dreams. What is seen in dreams is but a reflection, the likeness of a face looking at itself. From an unclean thing, what can be clean? And from something false, what can be true? Here's the main verses. Divinations and omens and dreams are unreal. Excuse me. And like a woman in labor, the mind has fantasies. Excuse me. Unless they are sent by intervention from the Most High, pay no attention to them. For dreams have deceived many, and those who put their hope in them have perished. Without such deceptions, the law will be fulfilled, and wisdom is complete in the mouth of the faithful. So this helped me discern which dreams to pay attention to and which dreams not to worry about, because I have so many pointless dreams. So many. So that helped me out a lot. I never forgot it. All I had to do was learn to distinguish which ones came from God and which ones didn't. And the ones that don't come from God, I don't worry about. I don't worry about most stuff. So that helped me out. Verse 9. An educated person knows many things. And one with much experience. Oh, I just realized something. Okay. And one with much experience knows what he is talking about. An inexperienced person knows few things, but he that has traveled acquires much cleverness. I have seen many things in my travels, and I understand more than I can express. I have often been in danger of death, but have escaped because of these experiences. The spirit of those who fear the Lord will live, for their hope is in him who saves them. Those who fear the Lord will not be timid or play the coward, for he is their hope. Happy is the soul that fears the Lord. To whom does he look, and who is his support? The eyes of the Lord are on those who love him, a mighty shield and strong support, a shelter from scorching wind and a shade from noonday sun, a guard against stumbling and a help against falling. He lifts up the soul and makes the eyes sparkle. He gives health and life and blessing. If one sacrifices ill gotten goods, the offering is blemished. The gifts of the lawless are not acceptable. The Most High is not pleased with the offerings of the ungodly, nor for a multitude of sacrifices does he forgive sins. Interesting. 24. Like one who kills a son before his father's eyes is the person who offers a sacrifice from the property of the poor. The bread of the needy is the life of the poor. Whoever deprives them of it is a murderer. To take away a neighbor's living is to commit murder. To deprive an employee of wages is to shed blood. When one builds and another tears down, what do they gain but hard work? When one prays and another curses, to whose voice will the Lord listen? If one washes after touching a corpse and touches it again, what has been gained by washing? So if someone fasts for his sins and goes again and does the same things, who who I can't hold on. I gotta read that again. I gotta straighten up. Hold on, let me start laughing first. Hold on, wait a minute. All right. While I'm straightening up, I went on and turned on this electric blanket real quick. Okay. So it says, so if so if someone fasts for his sins and goes again and does the same things, who will listen to his prayer? And what he has gained by humbling himself, well, and what has he gained by humbling himself? I'm sorry, I'm still trying not to laugh. Oh man, that is funny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What's up, Aria? I'm sorry. I got to straighten up, y'all. I got to straighten up. I cannot read and laugh. Okay, chapter 35, Sirach. Um, this is the NRSV version, by the way. Okay, so it says, I'm not ready. One who keeps the law makes many offerings. One who heeds the commandments makes an offering of well being. One who returns a kindness offers choice flour. And one who gives alms sacrifices a thank offering. To keep from wickedness is pleasing to the Lord. Um, is something like that in the Shepherd of Hermas. I think it mentions it somewhere, if not in the Shepherd of Hermas, that a type of fasting is to keep from wickedness. Hmm. Anyway, but it says to keep from wickedness is pleasing to the Lord, and to forsake unrighteousness is an atonement. Do not appear before, I like that last verse, by the way. Do not appear before the Lord empty handed, for all that you offer is in fulfillment of the commandment. The offering of the righteous enriches the altar. Let me bring this up just a little bit. Here we go. Did I read all that last one? I don't think so. I'm going to start over at 8. The offering of the righteous enriches the altar, and its pleasing odor, yeah, and its pleasing odor rises before the Most High. I had to make sure I read it right. The sacrifice of the righteous is acceptable and will never be forgotten. Be generous when you worship the Lord, and do not stint the first fruits of your hands. With every gift, show a cheerful face, and dedicate your tithe with gladness. Give to the Most High as He has given to you. I like that one. And as generously as you can afford. For the Lord is the one who repays, and He will repay you sevenfold. Do not offer Him a bribe, for He will not accept it. And do not rely on a dishonest sacrifice, for the Lord is the judge, and with him there is no partiality. He will not show partiality to the poor, but he will listen to the prayer of one who is wronged. 17. He will not ignore the supplication of the orphan or the widow when she pours out her complaint. Do not the tears of the widow run down her cheek as she cries out against the one who causes them to fall? One whose service is pleasing to the Lord will be accepted, and his prayer will reach to the clouds. I was just gonna say reaches to my bad. I was gonna mess that up. 21. The prayer of the humble pierces the clouds, and it will not rest until it reaches its goal. It will not desist until the Most High responds, and does justice to the righteous, and it executes judgment. Indeed, the Lord will not delay, and like a warrior will not be patient, until he crushes the loins of the unmerciful, and repays vengeance on the nations, until he destroys the multitude of the insolent, and breaks the scepters of the unrighteous, until he repays mortals according to their deeds, and the works of all according to their thoughts. Mm, spiritual right there. Spiritual. 25. Until he judges the case of his people and makes them rejoice in his mercy. His mercy is as welcome in time of distress as clouds of rain in time of drought. Mhm. Mm. I'm reading your comment now. It says it be like that. Okay. Let me go back to it. chapter 36. Um, Let me get some water. Oh yeah, I knew I was gonna need it. I knew it. I always need it. Okay, it says, have mercy on us, O God of all, and put all the nations in fear of you. Lift up your hand against foreign nations, and let them see your might. As you have used us to show your holiness to them, so use them to show your glory to us. I like that. Then they will know, as we have known, that there is no God but you, O Lord. Give new signs and work other wonders. Make your hand and right arm glorious. Excuse me. Excuse me. Rouse your anger and pour out your wrath. Destroy the adversary and wipe out the enemy. Hasten the day and remember the appointed time. And let people recount your mighty deeds. Let survivors be consumed in the fiery wrath. And may those who harm your people meet destruction. Crush the heads of hostile rulers who say, there is no one but ourselves. Gather all the tribes of Jacob and give them their inheritance, as at the beginning. Have mercy, O Lord, on the people called by your name, on Israel, whom you have named your firstborn. Many people miss this one. They be focused on Exodus. They don't know about this one. But anyway, they always talking about that firstborn. But anyway, let's keep going. Have pity on the city of your sanctuary, Jerusalem, the place of your dwelling. Fill Zion with your majesty, and your temple with your glory. Bear witness to those whom you created in the beginning, and fulfill the prophecy spoken in your name. Reward those who wait for you, and I like that one, and let your prophets be found trustworthy. Hear, O Lord, the prayer of your servants, according to your goodwill towards your people. And all who are on the earth will know that you are the Lord, the God of the ages. The stomach will take any food, yet one food is better than another. As the palate tastes the kinds of game, so an intelligent mind detects false words. A perverse mind will cause grief, but a person with experience will pay him back. A woman will accept any. I'm sorry. Just the way it worded it was funny. Um, it says a woman. I can't. Hold on. Some of these verses be funny. A woman, a woman will accept any man as a husband, but one girl is preferable to another. A woman's beauty lights up a man's face, and there is nothing he desires more. If kindness and humility mark her speech, her husband is more fortunate than other men. He who acquires a wife gets his best possession, a helper fit for him, and a pillar of support. That goes with Genesis 2:18, talking about the help meet when Eve was going to be created. 30. Where there is no fence, the property will be plundered. Yeah, yeah. And where there is no wife, a man will become a fugitive and a wanderer. For who will trust a nimble robber that skips from city to city? So who will trust a man that has no nest, but lodges wherever night overtakes him? Mm-mm. Okay, we're going to 37, I think. Yeah, 37. Dang, I'm already on 37? It seemed like I skipped some. I started at 34. 30. Did I skip? I, I read 3 chapters already. 34, 34. Wait a minute now. I don't think I skipped anything. I'm reading fast. I'm sorry. Didn't seem like I read all that. Okay. I had to check in with y'all to see if any comments came through. All right, 37. False friends. Every friend says, I am, I mean, I am before too. I too am a friend. But some friends are friends only in name. It is not a sorrow. Is it not a sorrow like that for death itself when a dear friend turns into an enemy? O inclination to evil, why were you formed to cover the land with deceit? Some companions rejoice in the happiness of a friend, but in time of trouble they are against him. Some companions help a friend for their stomach's sake, yet in battle they carry his shield. Do not forget a friend during the battle, and do not be unmindful of him when you distribute your spoils. All counselors praise the counsel they give, but some give counsel in their own interest. Be wary of a counselor, and learn first what is his interest, for he will take thought for himself. He may cast a lot against you, and tell you your way is good, and then stand aside to see what happens to you. Do not consult one who regards you with suspicion. Hide your intentions from those who are jealous of you. Do not consult with a woman about her rival, or with a coward about war, with a merchant about business, or with a buyer about selling, with a miser about generosity, or with the merciless about kindness, with an idler about any work, or with a seasonal laborer about completing his work, with a lazy servant about a big task. Pay no attention to any advice they give, but associate with a godly person whom you know to be a keeper of the commandments, who is like minded with yourself, and who will grieve with you if you fail. And heed the counsel of your own heart, for no one is more faithful to you than it is. For our own mind sometimes keeps us better informed than seven sentinels sitting high on a watchtower. But above all, pray to the Most High that He may direct your way in truth. Discussion in the, I messed that up already. Discussion is the beginning of every work, and counsel precedes every undertaking. The mind is the root of all conduct. Mhm. It sprouts four branches: good and evil, life and death. All right. And it is the tongue that continually rules them. Some people may be clever enough to teach many, and yet be useless to themselves. A skillful speaker may be hated. He will be destitute of all food. For the Lord has withheld the gift of charm, since he is lacking in all wisdom. If a person is wise to his own advantage, the fruits of his good sense will be praiseworthy. A wise person instructs his own people, and the fruits of his good sense will endure. A good person will have praise heaped on him, and all who see him will call him happy. The days of a person's life are numbered, but the days of Israel are without number. One who is wise among his people will inherit honor, and his name will live forever. My child, test yourself while you live. See what is bad for you, and do not give in to it. For not everything is good for everyone, and no one enjoys everything. I agree. Do not be greedy for every delicacy, and do not eat without restraint. For overeating brings sickness, and gluttony leads to nausea. Many have died of gluttony, but one who guards against it prolongs his life. Prolongs his life. All right. Chapter 38. Already in the building. I agree. Powerful words. My connection is trying to act up. Let me see. Let me see. Hopefully, we remain connected. Chapter 38. It says, honor physicians for their services, for the Lord created him. For their gift, of healing comes from the Most High, and they are rewarded by the King. The skill of physicians make them distinguished, and in the presence of the great they are admired. The Lord created medicines out of the earth, and the sensible will not despise them. Was not water made sweet with a tree, in order that its power might be known? And he gave skill to human beings, that he might be glorified in his marvelous works. By them the physician heals and takes away pain. The pharmacist makes a mixture from them. God's works will never be finished, and from him help spreads over all the earth. My child, when you are ill, do not delay, but pray to the Lord, and he will heal you. I like that. I don't even got my book to write my notes down. I was gonna get that as a note, but I was thinking about it, but it's okay. 10. Give up your faults and direct your paths. This made me think about Proverbs. Um, but anyway, my bad. It says, give up your faults and direct your hands rightly, and cleanse your heart from all sin. Like that. Offer a sweet smelling sacrifice and a memorial of portion. Sorry, there was no of. And a memorial portion of choice flour. And pour oil on your offering as much as you can afford. Then give the physician his place, for the Lord created him. Do not let him leave you, for you need him. There may come a time when recovery lies in the hands of physicians, for they too pray to the Lord that he will grant them success in diagnosis and in healing for the sake of preserving life. He who sins against his maker will be defiant towards the physician. My child, let your tears fall for the dead. Funerals, some people think you can't attend them. But anyway, what is ain't necessarily saying, oh, well, like it's about to. Oh, anyway, it says, let your tears fall for the dead. As one in great pain began the lament. Lay out the body with due ceremony, and do not neglect the burial. Let your weeping be bitter, and your wailing fervent. Make your mourning worthy of the departed, for one day or two to avoid criticism. And that's true, because if you don't cry for somebody like your mom that died or somebody that was close, yeah, people don't wonder, like, he didn't even cry. He wasn't sad. But anyway, then it says, then be comforted for your grief, for grief may result in death, and a sorrowful heart saps one's strength. When a person is taken away, sorrow is over, but the life of the poor weighs down the heart. Do not give your heart to grief, drive it away, and remember your own end. Do not forget, there is no coming back. Thinking about people who think reincarnation happening like over and over and over. No, it's not like that. It's not happening like that. Not the way they think. So it says, do not forget, there is no coming back. You do, yeah, that's what it said. You do the dead no good, and you injure yourself. Remember his fate, for yours is like it. Yesterday it was his, and today it is yours. That's deep. When the dead is at rest, let his remembrance rest too. Ooh, I think somebody need to hear that. And be comforted for him when his spirit has departed. The wisdom of the scribe depends on the opportunity of leisure. Only the one who has little business can become wise. This is good right here. How can one become wise who handles the plow and who glories in the shaft of a goad? Goad, who drives oxen and is occupied with their work, and whose talk is about bulls. He sets his heart on plowing furrows, and he is careful about fodder for the heifers. So it is with every artisan and master artisan, who labors by night as well by day. Those who cut the sickness of seals, each is diligent in making a great variety. They set their heart on painting a lifelike image, and they are careful to finish their work. So it is with the smith, sitting by the anvil, intent on his ironwork. The breath of the fire melts his flesh, and he struggles with the heat of the furnace. The sound of the hammer deafens his ears, and his eyes are on the pattern of the object. He sets his heart on finishing his handiwork, and he is careful to complete its decoration. So it is with the potter sitting at his work and turning the wheel with his feet. He is always deeply concerned over his products, and he produces them in quantity. He molds the clay, excuse me, with his arm and makes it pliable with his feet. He sets his heart on finishing the glazing, and he takes care in firing the kiln. All these rely on their hands, and all are skillful in their own work. Without them, no city can be inhabited, and wherever they live, they will not go hungry. Yet they are not sought out for the counsel of the people, nor do they attain eminence in the public assembly. They do not sit in the judge's seat, nor do they understand the decisions of the courts. They cannot expound discipline or judgment, and they are and they are not found among the rulers. But they maintain the fabric of the world, and their concern is for the exercise of their trade. How different the one who devotes himself to the study of the law of the Most High. I like that. I like that. That was pleasing to me spiritually, because I currently am trying not to work too long. I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to work less. I got stuff to do, and I want to feed my soul every day before I go to sleep. I'll just say this and keep reading. What chapter we on? 40 now? 39. I learned that if you like be increased in spirit or feed your soul, get a positive energy on the inside, um, and then go to sleep. Example, let's say you read some scriptures and then you go to sleep, or you pray and then you go to sleep. However you get there and then you go to sleep. When you wake up, that feeling you had is still going to be there. And I like that feeling, and it lasts for hours. So from that experience, I wanted to keep repeating the cycle. So I'm trying to program myself. This is a part of the program with you all, reading for you too. This is me feeding my soul and yours, most high willing. But if I go to sleep like this, I'm going to wake up feeling the same. So I want to keep the program going. That's a part of reprogramming. Some people don't know what it is or how to do it, but you just have to reprogram the bad programs. Let me see if anybody said anything. Okay, we got some comments here. We got I need to read. Oh, you say yes, so true. I need to read scriptures more often before bed. Very true. Yeah, try to do it every night. Well, if you can, it's a few ways to get in the spirit before you fall asleep. You can meditate on scriptures. It don't have to be certain scriptures. Like find something that's beneficial for you. Like I learned a lot of scriptures by heart, and what I would do is every now and then I'll find a scripture that's beneficial for me, and I would repeat it over and over. I would say the chapter and verse of where it's at, so I can remember where it's at. And then after that, I'll read the verse over and over and over until I can memorize it by heart. And then I'll say it over and over and over as many times as it takes. And then as you say it, you will start to feel, if you learn to read the energy that's appearing in your heart or manifesting in your heart, it'll get more stronger and stronger as you do it. And just to say one more thing about that, Me and two other sisters, maybe three other sisters, but I know at least two. One day, we just picked a random scripture in I think it was Ecclesiastes 12:3, and we all thought that was good, so we just started saying it over and over and over. I would say it, the other sister would say it, and my other sister would say it, and we would just go round and round, just saying it. And we got so high. I know, at least for me, I got so high in the spirit, I felt super good. By the time we was finished, and then yeah, you just feel super good. You just feel super good in the spirit. But that's what we did. We ain't do nothing else. I don't even think we prayed. But we got super high in the spirit just doing that. I don't know how long we did it, but we we just went round and round just saying it until we had enough. So you can do that as well. Just chant or repeat scriptures over and over and over and over. And it's scriptures that tell you to meditate on the law. I think day and night. I think that's Joshua 1:8. I can find it so I can at least have a quote word for word. Joshua 1:8. Keep this book of the law always on your lips. I'll pull up the. I hate Bible Gateway. I'm sorry, y'all. I just can't stand Bible Gateway. It's too bright. It makes my head hurt. Like the website. It's too bright. Come on, pull it up. Let's go. Okay. It says, keep this book of the law always. They just moved it around. Okay. It says, this book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night. Get this thing out the way. Stay in Chrome. Okay. But you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do according to all that is written in it. Now, think about that for a minute. The reason it wanted you to chant, reflect, think on the laws day and night. It wanted you to do it so you would remember, and a part of you remembering the laws by doing this is you program yourself. Not well, some people may have to reprogram, but this is a program. And I noticed this recently, like this week, that yeah, it's true. The Bible does have programs, but it has good programs. This is a beneficial program because you're going to program yourself to remember the laws. And in order for you to remember something, you have to repeat it over and over and over. It's like a song you learn. If you ever wrote a song or just listen to a song over and over and over, you know the lyrics because you heard it so many times. You programmed yourself to learn the song, so you remember it. And it just comes to your mind every now and then. That's the same thing with that. So that's a part of what I'm trying to do with this, this thing I'm doing every night. I'm trying to reprogram my nights so I can get in the spirit at night and then still be in the spirit in the morning. And then look at the last part. It says, for then, oh, y'all can't see this, but it says, for then you will make your way prosperous and then you will have good success. And I believe it. I believe it. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to read. Um, Let me just check back in with y'all real quick. Wallace says, "Oh, I got to catch up with a few comments." Aria says, "What does that mean, by the way, Aria? If you know, I'm sure you do." Um, Aria says, "Yes, I remember we used to chant together, man, and I need to get back into that, brother. Look, I forgot about that. Like I'm down if you down. I mean, because it increases you in spirit, and then I like to pray after it. It helps you. Yeah, it just helps you when you get in the spirit and then you pray. It's just better. But then you also said thank you for the reminder. You will. While it says burn it into your, there you go. Burn it into your mind and heart. There you go. Warrior of Yah. I like that. That's a good one. Um, that's a real when I read it, Warrior of Yah, that made me. I felt the increase in spirit. I like that. Okay, so I'm gonna read from chapter 39, verse 1 in Sirach, the NRSV version. So it says, He seeks out wisdom, I'm sorry, I forgot the thee. He seeks out the wisdom of all the ancients and is concerned with prophecies. I know I am. Just being honest with y'all. Then it says, He preserves the sayings of the famous and penetrates the subtleties of parables. He seeks out the hidden meanings of proverbs, and it is at home with the obscurities of parables. He serves amongst the great. I mean, I guess amongst is the same. Yeah. Anyway, he serves among the great and appears before rulers. He travels in foreign lands. He learns what is good and evil in the human lot. That's a cross reference to a few chapters back where it says, learn what is good for you. Um, I can't remember how I worded it, but basically, learn what is good for you while you live, while you're alive, and what is bad from you. And once you learn what is bad for you, keep from it. Basically, don't keep repeating it and let it, continually happen to you over and over and over. Like basically, don't let somebody cheat on you over and over and over. That's just not good for you. Don't let somebody abuse you physically in a relationship, like physically, over and over and over. No, that's not good for you. um, let's see, where we at? 5. It says he sets his heart on rising early to seek the Lord who made him. Before I already read that, I was already there with that because this reminds me of when it talks about in Proverbs and earlier in Sirach, seeking wisdom early, the Holy Spirit. But anyway, it says he sets his heart on rising early to seek the Lord who made him and to petition the Most High. He opens his mouth in prayer and asks pardon for his sins. I'm gonna tell y'all this before I keep going. I thought about this recently, and I just understood this like this week. It's in certain scriptures that they pray at certain times of the day. I don't think it's in the Old and New Testament, but I could be wrong. If it is, it is. But I don't remember it right now. But I do remember it being in outside books, biblical and spiritual texts, where it talks about them praying at certain times of the day. And in the Didachi, it talks about that you should pray the Lord's Prayer in Matthew 6. I think it's 6, 9 through 15, or 9 through 13. But it says to pray it 3 times a day. The New Testament doesn't say it, but in the Didachi, it says it. But the point of it all is, like, I thought about setting a schedule where I could have certain times throughout my day where I could set a time, set some time aside to pray or do something to get myself in the spirit, like something like that. Meditate or, whatever is beneficial for me in that godly way. Whatever, it's one of those. I don't know for sure what I want to do, but I know I want to get in the spirit during this time. And I just don't know what times I want to do it, but I want to do it multiple times a day. And this reminds me of that. What we was just reading about how he rises early and he prays and stuff like that. And I thought about it, and then I realized that's in scriptures. Like they do this. They they set times for prayer, and they even have certain days where they would fast. In certain scriptures I read, like they program themselves, and they stick to it. And I need to do that. So anyway, it says in verse 6, if the great Lord is willing, he will be filled with the spirit of understanding. He will pour forth words of wisdom of his own and give thanks to the Lord in prayer. The Lord will direct his counsel and knowledge, and he meditates on his mysteries. He will show the wisdom of what he has learned, and will glory in the law of the Lord's covenant. Many people will look people. Many will praise his understanding. It will never be blotted out. His memory will not disappear. and his name will live through all ages. Nations will speak of his wisdom, and the congregation will proclaim his praise. If he lives long, he will leave a name greater than 1,000. And if he goes to rest, it is enough for him. I have more on my mind to express. I am full like the full moon. Listen to me, my faithful children, and blossom like a rose growing by a stream of water. Send out fragrance, like incense, and put forth blossoms like a lily. Scatter the fragrance and sing a hymn of praise. Bless the Lord for all his works. I like that last one. Ascribe majesty to his name and give thanks to him with praise, with songs on your lips and with harps. This is what you shall say in thanksgiving. All the works of the Lord are very good, and whatever he commands will be done at the appointed time. No one can say, "What is this?" or "Why is that?" For at the appointed time, all such questions will be answered. At his word, the water stood in a heap, and the reservoirs of water at the word of his mouth. When he commands, his every purpose is fulfilled, and none can limit his saving power. The works of all are before him, and nothing can be hidden from his eyes. From the beginning to the end of time, he can see everything, and nothing is too marvelous for him. No one can say, "What is this?" or "Why is that?" For everything has been created for his own purpose. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. All right now. Then it says, his blessing covers the dry land like a river and drenches it like a flood. But his wrath drives out the nations, as when he turned a watered land into salt. Sodom and Gomorrah sounds like. To the faithful, his ways are straight, but full of pitfalls for the wicked. From the beginning, good things were created for the good, but the sinner, good things and bad. The basic necessities of human life are water and fire, and iron and salt, and wheat flour. And it was specific about that flour. But anyway, it says, and milk and honey. Love honey. Love it. Okay. Um, the blood, the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. Oil in the building. Okay. All these are good for the godly, but for sinners they turn into evils. That makes sense because they be getting drunk off of that wine. They go beyond their limit, man. I tell you. Mm, mm, mm. Anyway, there are winds created for there are winds created for vengeance. When I read that, I thought about tornadoes. That's why I was like, ooh. And in their anger, they can dislodge mountains. On the day of reckoning, they will pour out their strength and calm the anger of their maker. Fire and hail and famine and pestilence. All these have been created for vengeance. Excuse me. The fangs of the wild animals and scorpions and vipers, and the sword that punishes the ungodly with destruction. They take delight in doing his bidding, always ready for his service on earth. And when their time comes, they never disobey his command. So from the beginning I have been convinced of all this, and have thought it out, and left it in writing. All the works of the Lord are good, and he will supply every need in his time. That goes with Matthew 6:33, 6, around the context around it too, but basically that part describes how he feeds the birds of the air, and it basically says that if he clothes um, the flowers of the field or something like that, he will clothe you as well. So don't worry about what you will eat, what you will drink, what you will wear, for he knows you need all those things in the context. And that last part, it says, "For everything proves good in its appointed time." Matthew 6:33 says, "But seek you first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you." the whole context in that, you know, area. Not only will he give you clothes, you know, the net basic things, but he will also give you more blessings than that if you fulfill that scripture alone. If you every day just try to seek the kingdom first and his righteousness. If you can figure out what you can do to fulfill that every day and go after it every day, you will get blessed so much. So just saying. That reminds me of Matthew 6:33 because he's going to give you stuff in his appointed time along the way, like those blessings are going to come when it's time. So anyway, 35. So now sing praise with all your heart and voice and bless the name of the Lord. I like that. I don't have no sings. I mean, I don't have no songs to sing to God like that, but that I wrote anyway. So this is chapter 40. It looked like it's going to start off crazy. It says human wretchedness. I like the fact that Paul called him. Just thinking about. I like the. I can't even say it. Paul said, I can't even say it. I'm sorry. He said, "Oh, wretched man." I better just leave it alone. I got to straighten up. I can't even talk about it without laughing. But it's just funny to me. He said, "Oh, wretched." I'm sorry. I'm getting teary eyed of it. Let me straighten up. Let me straighten up. Because I'm going to be laughing for a minute. Y'all. I can't read and laugh. I'm telling you, I can't. Okay, I'm going to read what y'all said while I straighten up. So, while it said, hallelujah, I'm teary eyed. Anyway, uh, and he said, Psalm 65:8 says, pray in morning. That's what I'm talking about. That's the program. That we need that program. It's beneficial. Thank you, Wallace. Thank you. Appreciate that. Um, Luke 12:22. Also, just sing from your heart. Bam. Okay. Gotcha. I don't think I'm ready to read. I don't think I'm straightened up yet. But I'm telling you, it's a lot of funny verses I came across in the Bible. Whew. Certain translations make it funny. Man, I got one in mind right now. It's this translation called the CEV. I might pull it up on the screen for y'all. Where is it? It's when Lazarus died. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pull it up for y'all. Hold on, wait. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna pull this up. Um, let me find it. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Oh, that boy crazy. Okay, hold on. Is that the translation I want though? No, that's the New Living Translation. Nah, you got to give me the C. There it is, right there. Okay, I'm gonna pull this up. I gotta do Bible Gateway. I hate Bible Gateway. Can I get another one? There we go. All right, I got another one. Um, I'm gonna share the screen in a minute. I'm getting it pulled up right now. All right, let me stop sharing that screen so I can share this other one. I'm gonna try not to laugh before I finish reading it all, but oh boy. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna pull it up. So this is just the extra one, y'all. Y'all can just, I suppose, just enjoy yourselves with this one. Share screen, Chrome tab. Where is that? Right here? No, I got like 8 tabs full. Oh, there it go, right there. Okay, yeah, give me that. Oh, give me that. Okay, let me make sure y'all can see this. It's supposed to share it automatically, but I want to make sure y'all can see it because sometimes Yeah, okay, y'all can see it. Cool. I'm gonna make them words bigger too. Hold on. Let me get there. Control plus. What a plus at right there. Plus. Plus. I think that's big enough. U version uses cookies. I ain't know I was on U version. Alright now. I'm gonna make it bigger. One more. Just one more. Alright now. Okay. Okay, move cookies out of here. Um so here we go. John 11:11 through 19. CEV version. Contemporary English version. Here we go. Then he told them, our friend Lazarus is asleep, and I am going there to wake him up. They replied, Lord, if he is asleep, he will get better. Jesus really meant that Lazarus was dead, but they thought he was talking about, I mean, but they thought he was talking only about sleep. Then Jesus told them plainly, Lazarus is dead. I am glad I wasn't there because now you will have a chance to put your faith in me. Let's go to him. Thomas, whose nickname was Twin, said to the other disciples, come on, let's go so we can die with him. That part right there, when I first was reading this, and it was like a serious matter and everything. And then, they going to Lazarus and all that. And here go Thomas talk about, come on, let's go so we can die. So we can die with him, boy. This boy's off the chain. That made me laugh. I was cracking up. I don't need to read no more of that. That was it. That was the funny part right there. It wasn't as funny as when I first read it, but the way they worded it right here, man, I was cracking up. I had to read this over. It was something that I couldn't just read and keep going. That was funny to me. So let me go back. I'm gonna go and get the other one pulled back up, Sirach. So we'll keep going. So, let me get this one out the way. Y'all can let me know if y'all think that one was funny. To me, that one was funny. Remove. Did I remove it? Okay, there we go. Yeah, yeah, you gotta enjoy yourself while you're reading this stuff, though. I have all kind of emotions while I'm reading. I get sad, I get teary eyed, I laugh. I even got angry at reading some of these scriptures because when I was first reading, I'm gonna pull this up and as I tell y'all, how can I remove it from the entire? Yeah, stop sharing. There we go. I remember when I was first, reading in my first year walking with the Most High, taking the Bible serious and all that. I was reading. I was trying to read the whole Bible, and I had came to the Songs of Solomon or the Song of Songs, and I was reading it, and it got to the part where they started talking about he was laying all night between her breasts, and I'm like, wait a minute now, this sounds like a porno, and I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to be reading stuff like this in the Bible and struggling with not trying to think about pornographic images because it's talking about this stuff. I'm like, I was getting mad. I'm like, I'm not gonna read this no more. So I ain't think that was supposed to be in there, but it was in there. So I had to come back to that later on, and I just skipped that book and went to another book and just came back to it later. But the first time I was reading that, I was like, wait a minute, now this ain't supposed to be in here. This got me about to think about some pornographic stuff, and I'm trying not to. I don't think you're supposed to be thinking about that type of stuff while you're reading the scripts, and it was making me, or it was, it was like I had to divert my mind from even thinking about that. I'm like, that wasn't right. So yeah, that made me mad. All right, so I should have it pulled back up now. Um, while it says if you don't enjoy what you read, you won't retain it. Yeah, that, and if it's not important and standing out to you, because I read the third book of Enoch and ain't nothing important in that book except one thing. where Metatron was Enoch, or vice versa, and Enoch was telling the Son of God, the Messiah, the main Messiah, what to do. And I found that strange. That's it. That's all I can remember in that book. Everything else, I don't remember nothing else. Nothing was important in that book except one thing. Um, so it says, by the way, that's the third book of Enoch. That one is really not even by Enoch. It's by some rabbi. Okay, so this is chapter 40, right? Yeah, 40. Okay, so it says, hard work was created for everyone. Okay, okay. And people need to hear that right there. And a heavy yoke is laid on the children of Adam from the day they come forth from their mother's womb until the day they return to the mother of all the living. That's another way of saying Mother Earth. Perplexities and fear of heart are theirs, and anxious thought of the day of their death. From the one who sits on a splendid throne to the one who grovels in the dust and ashes, from the one who wears purple and a crown to the one who is clothed in sackcloth, there is anger and envy and trouble and unrest, and fear of death, and fury and strife. And when one rests upon his bed, he sleep, his sleep at night confuses his mind. He gets little rest. He gets little or no rest. He struggles. Now that sounds like a nightmare to me, but anyway, he struggles in his sleep as he did by day. He is troubled by the visions of his mind, like one who has escaped from the battlefield. At the moment he reaches safety, he wakes up, astonished that his fears were groundless. To all creatures, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm very high in the spirit right now. And all I read was 34, about 6 chapters. So right now I can end this after this and then go to sleep. I'm just saying that's what I could do. I'm not saying I'm going to, but I'm just saying like that's what I would like to do every night before I go to sleep. Just find a way to get increased in spirit like this and go to sleep so I can wake up feeling the same feeling and go on about my day. And somewhere throughout the day, pray, you know, because the more I find myself in this feeling, the more I want to pray. And I just pray sooner or later because the more increased in spirit I get, I have to pray. And then I find myself praying about stuff. So it's beneficial. So anyway, chapter 7, I believe I left off, or was it 8? Now I read 7. To all creatures, 8. To all creatures, human and animal, but to sinners, 7 times more. Okay. And then it says 9. Come death and bloodshed and strife and sword, calamities and famine and ruin and plague. All these were created for the wicked. Uh. And on their account the flood came. All that is of earth returns to earth. There it is again, cross reference to the first verse. And what is from above returns above. All bribery and injustice will be blotted out, but good faith will last forever. I like how they distinguished it. Good faith. So it is a such thing as bad faith, which I've never said it like that, but now I'm definitely gonna start saying it because it is a bad faith. Like people that don't believe in God, that is bad faith. Even if they believe it, that's bad faith. So anyway, the wrath of the unjust will dry up like a river and crash like a loud clap of thunder in a storm, as a generous person has cause to rejoice. So lawbreakers will utterly fail. The children of the ungodly pour out few branches. They are unhealthy roots on sure rock. The reeds by any water or riverbank are plucked up before any grass. But kindness It's like a garden of blessings. I like that. And almsgiving endures forever. Wealth and wages make life sweet, but better than either is finding a treasure. Ooh, I just had a thought. Children in the building of a city establish one's name, but better than either is one who finds wisdom. Cattle in orchards make one prosperous, but a blameless wife is accounted better than either. Wine and music gladden the heart, but the love of friends is better than either. The flute and the harp make sweet melody, but a pleasant voice is better than either. The eye desires grace and beauty, but the green shoots of grain more than either. A friend or companion is always welcome, but a sensible wife is better than either. I agree. I agree. Kindred and helpers are for a time of trouble, but almsgiving rescues better than either. Gold and silver make one stand firm, but good counsel is esteemed more than either. Riches and strength build up confidence, but the fear of the Lord is better than either. I like how simple this is. It's like a poem, but it's so simple. Then it says, "There is no want in the fear." I like that. I want to read this all together. 26. Riches and strength build up confidence, but the fear of the Lord is better than either. There is no want in the fear of the Lord. Perfect. How perfect is that? And then it says, I mean, that's deep when you just think about it, because you know you're going to be taken care of. What's to worry about? But anyway, then it says, and with it, there is no need to seek for help. That's great. Anyway, the fear of the Lord is like a garden of blessing and covers a person better, better than any glory. My child, do not lead the life of a beggar. It is better than, my bad, there's no then. It is better to die than to beg. When one looks to the table of another, one's way of life cannot be considered a life. One loses self respect with another person's food. But one who is intelligent and well instructed guards against that. In the mouth of the shameless, begging is sweet, but it kindles a fire inside him. I think I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna just let everybody know something about this website if y'all come here in the future. I don't know if they plan on adding these, but if you see down here it says footnotes and cross references and you click it, you ain't gonna see nothing. I don't know if they plan on adding anything, but oh, they got some footnotes. Okay, I'll take that part back. They got some footnotes, but they don't got no cross reference. I wish they would just show it. Like, why I gotta click it, come out? Just they should just have it out. Like at the bottom of my Bible, it's just there. They should just have it there. I don't want to have to click it, but it's all good. At least they got that because they don't never have cross references. I mean, ever. I ain't never seen none, so don't expect to get none. They don't give you nothing. So what chapter is this? 41 concerning death. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna read that. Hold on, let me check check in with y'all. Checking in. Okay. So we got Aria saying, "Wow, okay." I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm so high in the spirit. I don't need to read no more. I can stop right here and be good. I don't even want to read no more. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't even want to read no more. You say this is good. I needed this. Okay, good, good. I needed it too. I was thinking I'm gonna try to read, and you helped me want to read also tonight. because you said earlier something about that I should do readings on here because I haven't done anything on Facebook in a long time. I left it to my buddy. Um, he does YouTube video, I mean Facebook videos all the time. I left it to him. I'm like, you can have that. I'm going on YouTube. So all my readings will be on YouTube. And then after I'm done, I'll just take whatever I read if I want to and just share it to Facebook. It wouldn't be live. You rarely will ever catch me live on Facebook. So yeah, you did help me come to Facebook faster, Aria. You say that's fine, brother. Thank you for reading this. You're welcome. Thank y'all for all joining me. I hope whoever sees this after the video's posted or whoever was here while I was reading, I hope if you found something I read beneficial, hope something stood out to you. I hope you was fed spiritually. I hope you enjoyed yourself because I know I did. I was cracking up. Um, so, if y'all got any comments or questions y'all want to leave or whatever you want to say, did I say cross references too? If you got any cross references, you can leave it in the comments too about anything I read. Ariel says, "Praise the Most High for His beautiful word." Agreed, agreed. While it says edification of His word is bliss. Yeah, those are some good scriptures too. I hope the audio came out well because I haven't used this mic in a long time. So hopefully the audio didn't cut out at any time. I think that's the reason I stopped using this webcam because I would listen to my videos and I would notice that the audio would cut out. I think it was this mic. Maybe it was another mic I got somewhere. I can't remember. I hope so. I hope so. Well, let me think. I don't know if I'm gonna come back tomorrow, but most high willing I will, and just try to keep reading something. My schedule is unpredictable when it comes to reading and stuff. But if you see me, you see me. If you don't, you don't. But y'all just try to make sure y'all feed y'all souls often. Try not to die spiritually. And it's a lot of people that I ran into that I know that is struggling spiritually. They need to be fed spiritually. It's a lot of people that I know. I was one of those people. I was struggling for months, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was gone for so long from YouTube because that was my main, like where I'm be reading at, like and all that. Where I post my biblical spiritual content. I was gone for months. I was gone for so long. To myself, I made a video. I never released it public, but I made a video saying these words, something like this. I was gone for so long that to me it seemed like I had the thought like maybe people would have considered whether I was alive or not. Like, dang, he ain't posting in so long. Like, is he alive? Like, is he dead? Because I be wondering, like, if y'all don't see me for months, most of y'all don't really know how to contact me outside of social media. So a lot of y'all, would wonder maybe, maybe he's not alive. Maybe he's dead. And I had that thought, like, dang, you just disappeared from social media for so long. I'm like, dang, it seems like you did. But I never released it. But that's how it was. I was gone for so long. I was struggling spiritually and I needed to be fed spiritually. And I wanted people to read for me or with me, but I didn't reach out to nobody like I used to. I used to just go on Facebook and ask any time of the day. I didn't care if it was 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning. I would just type out and say, "Does anybody want to have a biblical and spiritual conversation?" And a lot of times it would work, and I'll find somebody. And I wasn't one of those people that was faking it. I was really trying to have, you know, a godly conversation. I wasn't trying to have phone sex or anything like that with people, and I was really trying to do what I said because I know how guys are. I know how guys can be. They'll try to trick you, try to trick people. No, I wasn't trying to trick nobody, but I used to do that, and I would. It would mostly go well. I would mostly get people to communicate with me and read, talk to me about that. But I stopped reaching out, and because I didn't reach out, I suffered longer. I was struggling longer, and that's what people people need to do. They need to reach out so they can, and they need to reach out to like-minded people that they know are godly, that'll read and study or pray with them, because not a lot of people will. It's not a lot of people that will. I know a lot of people. Not all these Facebook friends I got. I got about 8,000 plus. How many of them you think call me to pray? Not, not many. Not many people call me to pray, and vice versa for y'all. How many people call y'all to pray? Think about that. I posted that on Facebook recently. Not a lot of people call you for prayer. Not a lot of people call you to pray for you. That's just how it is. And it shouldn't be like that. It should be more of that. We should be praying more for each other. And we need to get back to that. And that's where I'm at. God has brought me back where I needed to be. So I'm trying to keep it going and spread it and help others get back where they need to be, because I was struggling. I know people who are struggling and they still are. So we all need to get back where we need to be. And I'm trying to help them get back to people who's married or struggling. I know a few people who's married that's struggling. Their husbands don't even want to read and study with them like that. They don't want to teach their kids Hebrew, and they just make it difficult for their partner. But here's something I'll say that's positive. Here's how I suggested something to a person that's married for her husband, because she said her husband, I'm gonna catch up with you too, Aria. She said her husband would not read with her and she needed to be fed spiritually. So I said, well, from my experience, I said, why don't you basically read for him? I was like, how easy is it for you to read out loud for somebody or for you to read for somebody? That's the truth. Now, the benefit of doing this is, I was like, why don't you just purposely leave Bibles open so he can be intrigued and be like, what's this on? Like, what page? That might get somebody to want to read or check it out the Bible, because that happens to me and others. But besides that, I said, why don't you get in his presence or around him in the same room and purposely read out loud? Pick a pick a chapter, book, wherever you want to read from, and just purposely read out loud while he's in the room. And then I was like, just read one or two chapters, and then ask him if he can read the next chapter for you, or pick up where you left off while you do something, or just ask him. And I said, if he fights you about it, then you know what you're dealing with. Because if somebody fights you about reading the scriptures, you got a problem. But if they don't, if they help you read it, okay, then you good. And that's what she did. She said it kind of worked, and it's picking up for them. They read and studied lately, and that's a big thing. So she had to kind of trick him into doing it. But either way, it worked. I guess that goes with be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove, the scripture, you know. So um, now I'm gonna catch up with you, Aria. Let me go up on these comments. um, and now you're back. Glory to Yah. Yep, I agree. We all go through things. As long as we get it together and come back, that's what matters. We can never give up. Agreed. Um, I don't have anyone to really reach out to or that reach out to me. I pray for like minded connection is good. Yep, hard to do when your husband isn't a believer and doesn't want to hear anything about the Bible. That's why it's important to, well, the last two things you said that I read, my thoughts are, you said you don't have anyone to really reach out to. Well, just try what I did. And anybody that comes to you with deceitfulness, end it fast. Just try to get away from them quick and seek out the ones who's really about that biblical spiritual walk. That's not trying to have sex with you, because people can be deceiving. But anyway, like, this is what I used to do. I used to go to Facebook and I used to say, does anybody want to read uh, any scriptures or a certain book, or does anybody want to have a biblical and spiritual conversation right now? And I found a lot of people like that. Another thing I used to do is, this is how I found some good people that I stuck with for years. I used to go in people's messages and inbox, male and female, about the same amount on each sex, and I would say, "Hey, you read the Bible? Hey, you read the Bible?" I would just copy and paste to everybody. Nobody was special. Everybody got the same question. Some people cuss me out just for asking. They'll be like, "Hell no, I don't read the Bible." But it was only a few, only like two that did that. Um, and I was like, "Okay, bye, Satan," or Uh, then most people will say, "Yeah," or some people say, "Not like I should." And then for the ones that will say, "Yeah, they read the Bible," you can ask them another question to see how like-minded they are with you. You can say, "Because me, I read the Bible, Old and New Testament, Apocrypha, and so on. So I'm beyond, I'm one of those that's like extra deep or something, or whatever you consider me. So if you read the Bible, we like-minded, but we ain't that like-minded." So I would say, okay, so do you read the Apocrypha, the other hidden books, Dead Sea Scrolls, things like that? And some people don't know what that is. Some people did. It was rare that I found people that did, but if I found any, they were more like-minded with me. So I would want to try to keep up with these people. And then if things went well, y'all can exchange numbers, and hopefully, if things go well, you got a person that you can always call and read and study with, and pray with. But I had to do that to like 50 people just to find one good person out of 50. And then I had to, like, out of another 50 people, I found one good person that I stuck with out of 50. You know, it might not be like that for you, but, there's people out there. And remember, I'm here. I don't know if you want to reach out to me, but if I'm all you got, I'll help you, because helping you will help me. So we can help each other, and until you find more like-minded people. Wallace says, "Let's see how deep we can go." What you mean, Wallace? Oh, y'all talking? My bad. I gotta catch up. Um, okay, let me catch up. I don't have anyone read that. Oh, and you said hard to do when your husband isn't a believer and doesn't want to hear anything about the Bible. Now, this reminds me of my grandma's husband, who late husband. He's dead now, but when he was alive, I didn't know this about him because I was 6 years old. I was so young, I didn't know. He never did anything like this around me. But when I grew up, in like my late 30s or 20s, my grandma started telling me stuff about my granddaddy that I never knew. She told me he was into voodoo, and she said he used to. I don't want to say that because I might remember it wrong, so I'm not gonna say that because I might be wrong. But she told me some stuff, and I'm like, dang, I ain't know that. He ain't never do none of that while I was around. Like, so my grandma is a Christian, believes in God and the Son of God, the main Messiah, but my granddaddy, different beliefs. Oh, that's what I was looking for. All right. So that's something I learned. So That's what you reminded me of when you said your husband doesn't, want to read and hear it and all that. It reminds me of that because my grandma went through. I don't know if she went through the same thing, but because I was little, but she was in a fight. I put it that way, and I ain't know. I didn't know how. I didn't know how bad it was because I was little, and they didn't really fight like that around me, but they was different in beliefs. Um, let's see. That's why it's important to be equally yoked with your kingdom spouse that Yah ordained for you. That's good. I'm happy for them. So you married, Arya? Let's see. Call anytime. Oh, call me anytime. Good advice. Let's see how deep we can go. Okay, okay. Now, Wallace, I don't know if I got your phone number if you was talking to me. I'm feeling like we should read one more chapter, y'all. Let's go on and knock this out. Let's just read another. Nah, nah, should I read it? Nah, I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna pick back up right here because I don't want the people to like come in and I start reading another chapter like 20 minutes after I decided not to. So I'll pick up here. Hopefully, I can read all this because it ends at chapter 51, I think. That's the last chapter, or 52. I think it's 51. 51, yeah. And I think we should do more group readings because people are married and sometimes their partner isn't comfortable with them reading with other people like that unless they're together or can hear the conversation or however that go. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Get fed spiritually if your partner ain't helping you until they will. But and prayer can be done for them too. Gotta pray for them too. Cause I tell you, I was with an unbeliever. I mean, well, she was she was a witch. I put it that way. And I mean a witch, a real witch. My latest ex. I haven't told many people about that, but one day I want to talk about that relationship because it was a trip. I'll send it to you. My number has changed. Oh, okay, okay, cool. All right. Yeah, my ex was a trip, man. That relationship was a trip because she was one of those who wanted. It was like that from the beginning, though. I known her for years, about 5 years, since 2015. Was it 2015? 2017. 2017. My bad. Yeah, I known her since 2017, and that's the first year that we was together. She was the first person I was with since I got serious with the Most High, and then the first time we was together, we was going towards marriage, of course. But like she was at this point, she was on fire for God because she was hungry for the Word, wanted to read and study all the time, and we read together, we prayed together, I believe, um, or for each other and or for each other. What else? We worship God together, but I noticed that she was always seductive from the beginning, but she wasn't as seductive from the beginning. Um, and then later on, when we got back together again about a year ago, yeah, she was way more seductive this time. She was always trying to seduce me, and she didn't want to read the Bible. She thought she was beyond the Bible. She didn't think she had to read it anymore, but the things that she understood about the Bible was incorrect, some of them. So I'm like, you still need to read it because what your beliefs are about it, some of these topics isn't correct. And she wasn't even sure she was antichrist or not because I asked her, "Were you the question to verify? Are you antichrist?" and she didn't know. I'm like, well, you need to you need to get in this word and read and read and study that with me so you can answer it. And she didn't want to read. Like I had to fight with her to get her to read with me. I had to compromise. I was like, okay, you want to do this, don't you? You want to do this? I don't even want to get into it, but it wasn't good. It was a fight with her to read. She was bad spiritually for me. That was a dangerous one right there. Sadly, that was the worst relationship that I was in out of all the times I was with anybody after I got serious with the Most High, due to the fact that she was spiritually so bad for me. Like I knew, y'all ever seen that picture of the skeleton on Facebook when they use it and say, "This is me waiting on so and so to happen," or "This is me." Like I thought about that skeleton. I was like, "This is me waiting on her to feed me spiritually." Like that's the type of relationship that was. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Maybe one day I'll make a Pacific video and just talk about that. Man, it was bad. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. Thanks for joining me. Thanks, Wallace, Aria. And most High willing will continue this and just keep feeding our souls because I don't go to church. Well, I don't go to churches for like the reasons I used to. I'll go to a church one on one with a preacher and we'll study without time limits mostly. And then we'll also do like Hebrew, like we'll learn Hebrew and Greek, or we'll just do unique studies and things like that that you don't normally do when the whole congregation is there. I'll go for that, or I'll go just to pop up and go back out kind of quick, or I'll go to get prayer from a preacher. But other than that, I don't go like I used to. So I was thinking this could be my form of church or gathering together with people, because I don't go to churches like that. Ariel says, sorry you went through that. My goodness. I had to go through it. It was a prophecy being fulfilled. God had showed me that in the past that I was going to be with a witch, but I didn't know who that witch was going to be. And I realized that one day when I was coming from, I was at Target at night, and then I recognized that it was deja vu, as they call it. But what people don't tell you about deja vu is when something well, y'all know what that means, but it's something you've seen before. But the only being or spirit that I know of that can cause something to come to pass that you've seen before is God. So what they don't tell you about deja vu is another meaning for it to me is, or what I consider it is when God has shown you something in the past and then he brings it, or he manifests it or brings it to life in the future, and then you live it out. And that's what happened to me. He showed me it in the past in a dream or a vision, and then some time later he brought it to pass. And when I recognized it, I was like, okay, I've seen this before. And I knew who the witch was, but I didn't know who the witch was going to be when he showed me the vision. I didn't know who the witch was going to be, but I just knew I was going to be with a witch, and it was her. So it was what it was. But so it was a path that I had to take. But I had, I had, I went into it with the right intentions, though. I was still not willing to be turned from God, even though I wasn't where I needed to be spiritually, 100%. I told her, "You're not turning me from God." And everything that we was doing, I was trying to make sure that we was gonna be fed or okay spiritually, because that's the most important part. She wanted, like she wanted the sexual part, and I wanted the spiritual part. I didn't really care for the sex like that because I thought that that would just come automatically. But It's the same way I thought about it in our first relationship. Like it didn't really matter to me about the sexual part, but she wanted that. That's what she was focusing on so much, and I was focused on the spiritual part. And I'm like, if we can't get it together spiritually, then I don't think it's gonna work. So I had to compromise with her, and it was just a fight. It was a fight. It was always a fight. It was a fight, and that's not how it's supposed to be. If you got to fight with somebody to read and study and pray with you, no, that ain't somebody you need to be with. It's not supposed to be like that. It shouldn't be like that. Wallace said that happens to me a lot. Okay, y'all, I'm really gonna go this time. Most high willing, I'll see y'all soon. I don't know when, but y'all see me. All right, y'all. Take care of yourselves and remember to pray for other people because other people are falling away spiritually and they're still struggling spiritually. So if you know anybody like that, ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, ex-husband, ex-wife, don't matter who they are, brother, mother, sister, son, nephew, all these people, you know, you need prayer. Pray for your families. Try to pray with them more because that in some households is not being done. It wasn't being done in mine collectively as a family. So we're starting to do that more and more. Don't forget to cast out demons in your own household and other people's households. If you don't know how, I can help you with that. But stuff like that needs to go on. Um, and teach your other family members how to do it as well because demons always come. They always come. So keep that going. And if you don't have it going, try to start it. Try to start it with your family and get it going because demons are always going to come. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. Shalom, Arya, Wallace, and whoever is watching. Oh, man. Mm.